All right, hello wine drinking people. Today is Saturday, June 26th. And you know what I'm talking about next, the Domaine Weinbach tasting we had in the store last night. That's right, folks. We had 11 wines from Domaine Weinbach. Those of you that are coming by today, we still have some left. You know, whenever we do a white wine tasting, we have a pathetic showing. I don't know what it is. We have racist wine drinkers out there, but these are some of the greatest white wines in the world. Gewürztraminer does tend to be a little sweet for some people. Some of these wines ranging upwards of 25 grams of residual sugar. The 07 and 08 vintage we highlighted here. The Muscat, the very first wine we served, was my wife's favorite. Very crisp, very light. By the way, the food was excellent last night, honey. We loved the pulled pork on top of the little corn cakes. That was great. The little chicken quesadilla things with a jalapeno spice. These wines also go well with spicy food. The sweetness lends itself to spice, and the Gewürztraminer, the name of the grape is actually spicy grape, literally translated. So you know that's going to work with some spicy food. Okay, after the Muscat, we did have some Gewürztraminers. The Cuvée Theo, named after the father, and this is the 07 and 08. The 08 vintage seemed a little bit fruitier in this wine. You get that lovely peach and lychee nut fruit out of Gewürztraminer. Also lovely perfumey, floral, kind of rose petal quality to this. Both of these wines showing great concentration and depth. One of the things you get from great estate bottled wines. All of these wines come from the 28-acre estate that Domaine Weinbach owns. Every drop of wine that goes in the bottles from their own grapes. They're all biodynamically and organically farmed, certified as of 2007, but they've been growing their grapes like that for 20 years, just because they were just recently surveyed. Just because they recently received their certificate, some people think this is a new phenomenon, Weinbach, but hardly. Okay, next up, the 08 kind of edged out the 07 a little bit there for my taste. Then the Reserve Personnel Gewürztraminer, a little bit spicier than the Cuvée Theos, a little bit of that green tea, but still lovely peach, and a hibiscus kind of flower note to the wine. Very rich and fat on the tongue. And those of you that love Gewürztraminer, this was my favorite of the three. Okay, the Pinot Gris were next. We had the 07 and the 08 St. Catherine. And both of these wines, Pinot Gris to me excels in Alsace. This is the best expression of the Pinot Gris varietal. Very fat, very rich on the tongue, but still with great acidity. One of the hallmarks of great wines that have residual sugar in them, you need to have that acidity if these wines are going to age for a long time. And the 07 seemed a little sweeter to me in this lineup. And 07 and 08, very similar vintages in Alsace. 08, just a little more austere right now. The 07s are a little bit more developed because they've had an extra year in the bottle. And then the big boys of Alsace. You could probably show Gewürztraminer last. We showed the Rieslings last night because the Rieslings are the big dog. The Schlossberg being the great Grand Cru associated with this tasting. We had a couple of Schlossberg wines and the Indinet wine, their top wine. This is from the midsection of the Schlossberg. The best grapes from every vintage. They've made this wine since 1998. Definitely another level up in richness and concentration for the Rieslings. This wine had probably 20 to 25 grams per liter of residual sugar, but again, that deft balance with the acidity, bringing everything together. These wines were all outstanding. If you want the 08s, they are available. They're 3 to 4 weeks away. The 07s we've got in the store and ready to go. Again, if you guys want to taste these wines, they're here and open in the store. I'm your host signing off for the week, Andrew Lamposone, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.